Call to order, meeting of Board of Education, Town of Rocky Hill, September 21st, 2023, 7 PM, Town Hall Council Chambers. If everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, so before we get into the agenda, I do want to, we're going to move number 17, which is Mr. Zettergren's report, up to 1A. And then with that, we're also going to move number 6, which is the consent calendar, up to 1B. Just so that if anyone has questions about the consent calendar, they can, Chuck will be around for those questions. Chuck just needs to get out of here a little early today to attend some business. So with that, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion for the two adjustments as described by Mr. Slattery.
Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Manella? Or was, yeah, by Ms. Manella. With that, we will turn to 1A, which is the Finance and Operations Report. Mr. Zettergren.
Okay. Thank you for making those accommodations. I appreciate it. Attached in your, tonight is the financial report reflecting year-to-date figures for the month ending August 31st, 2023. There is a limited expense activity in the report due to the fiscal year just beginning and the start of school occurring on August 31st, 2023. If anybody has any questions, I'll be sure to answer them. The auditors have been in and completed their on-site field work related to the year-end audit. We should be receiving a report on that in the time frame of December 1st. On the consent agenda are the budget calendar and budget assumptions that we will be using in putting together our budget request for the 2024-25 school year. Budget information and documents have been sent out to each of our administrators so that they may start their putting together their on-site budgets, and we'll start that process. Bus transportation has been going smoothly, and we have responded to various transportation change requests that we typically receive at this time of the year. But on an overall basis, things are going really smoothly, so I'm glad to report that out. And that concludes my business report. I don't know if anybody has any questions that they wish to ask.
Anybody have any questions for Mr. Zettergren?
Right.
Ms. Morfea?
Can we reconvene as the Transportation Committee? Because I think we're having issues with the app. I haven't heard any parents saying that it's actually working on time for them.
Okay, I know that, I'm sorry, that was a question to the board, so that's fine with me.
I don't know if you heard any, or anybody
I
call
have,
or-
when we first started, I did get some questions that, some felt that the app was not working well. We did have them reset it. I have not heard anything after that point, so that's my feedback.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, Ms. Morfea. We'll put that together. Being the beginning of the year, I think it makes sense to revisit that and just make sure that any kinks are worked out, if there are any.
So that's an ad hoc committee typically, so I can work with you to schedule the meeting?
Yeah, so we'll get that set up between probably now and the next meeting, for sure.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome, Ms. Morfea. Any other questions for Mr. Zettergren?
I have a question.
Ms. Manella?
Yeah. Chuck, I have a question regarding the deficit running in the tuition in and out district.
Yep.
Is that going to be offset by the state grant? Or
Yes, yeah. We encumber monies as for the tuition that we're expecting throughout the year, and that does change as, students' needs change. But we do, as you had mentioned, we do get a excess cost grant from the state. That comes at the end of February, and then another reimbursement in May. So once we receive those, that will bring that deficit into more of a I would anticipate at this point that it would change over to positive at that point.
Okay. Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Manella. Any other questions for Mr. Zettergren? With that, we will move on to the consent calendar. On the consent calendar, we have approval of the 2024-2025 budget assumptions and budget calendar. Does anybody have any questions regarding the consent calendar? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to accept the consent calendar?
A motion to approve the consent calendar. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Manella. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Sorry. Any abstaining? Motion passes 9-0. Committee, actually, my apologies. We are going to go back up to special recognition, and with that, that's number 2 on the agenda. Thank you, Mr. Zettergren. Special recognition, introduction of new teachers and teachers of the year. With that, I'll defer to Dr. Zito.
Thank you very much. So tonight we have, we invited all of our new staff members to the meeting. A few folks couldn't make it, but we're real happy to see some new faces here with us. It's a very competitive hiring process. We hired 13 new teachers this year, new to Rocky Hill. Very pleased with the folks that we brought into the district. We're also going to recognize our Teachers of the Year. So we're going to start tonight with the Stevens School Principal, Wendy Duran, who's going to introduce her Teacher of the Year, and then also introduce her new staff to the board.
Good evening, everyone. Kristen, could you come forward, please? You could stand right there if you're more comfortable. So Stevens School is proud to have Kristen Carter represent the school community as our Teacher of the Year. Kristen's unwavering dedication, outstanding leadership, and exceptional qualities as an educator make her an exemplary candidate for this esteemed recognition. Kristen's colleagues state that she exemplifies the true meaning of being a team player. She goes above and beyond for her colleagues, always willing to lend a helping hand or provide support. In addition to her exceptional teamwork, Kristen's compassion for her students is unparalleled. She deeply cares for their well-being and goes above and beyond to help them grow into kind and empathetic individuals. Kristen provides unwavering support to all students, fostering positive relationships built on respect, trust, and genuine care. Her classroom is a safe space where students feel valued, respected, and encouraged to reach their full potential. She is committed to staying current with educational best practices and ensuring that her students receive high-quality instruction in all content areas. All of these attributes described and her dedication to professional growth are qualities that make her deserving of the Stevens Teacher of the Year Award. Congratulations, Kristen. All right, I'll move right along to our new staff. This evening, I have the distinct pleasure of introducing to you 4 remarkable individuals who have recently joined our staff at Stevens Elementary School. These educators bring with them a deep passion for teaching that will undoubtedly enrich the educational experience of our students. First, I would like to introduce to you Casey Devon. Could you please stand, Casey? Thank you. Casey has joined our 3rd grade team at Stevens School. She graduated from Quinnipiac University this past spring with a master's in elementary education. During her academic journey, she interned in both the Southington and Cheshire public school districts, gaining invaluable observations and diverse substitute experience. Casey's classroom reflects her dedication and excitement for her learners. She has created both an inviting physical environment along with a supportive classroom environment in her first few weeks of the school year. She will undoubtedly have an exceptional first year. Welcome, Casey. Our next hire could not be here this evening. Her name is Kendall Manjuli, and she's soon to be Kendall Mann when she will be getting married next month. Her reason for not being able to be here this evening is because she had a much more important engagement, which would be to have her wedding dress fitted this evening. Thought that was a good, fair pass. She's serving as our school psychologist and attended UConn for a bachelor's degree in psychology before pursuing her master's and sixth-year certificate degrees at the University of Hartford in school psychology. Previously, Kendall served as a school psychologist in Southington Public Schools and Monroe Public Schools at the K-5 level. And we welcome Kendall. Next, we have Kelsey Simeone. Kelsey, can you please stand? Kelsey was hired as a special education case manager, and Kelsey is a highly qualified educator with a bachelor's degree in special education as well as elementary education. In 2021, Kelsey completed her master's degree program from Quinnipiac, followed by her sixth-year certificate from Fairfield University. Prior to joining Rocky Hill, she served as a dedicated K-1 resource teacher in Portland. Her knowledge and experience will be an asset to our students. Welcome, Kelsey. Last, let me introduce to you Miss Maggie Bello. Maggie, could you stand? Maggie's passion for teaching has been evident from the beginning, and she brings a deep commitment to our students. She's serving as a case manager in our special ed department, and she earned her bachelor's degree in elementary and special education from Salve Regina University. She's in her second year of teaching, and previously Maggie worked as a middle school special education teacher. I'm confident that Casey, Kendall, Kelsey, and Maggie will make significant contributions to our educational community and uphold the high standards that we set for our students' success. So please join me in welcoming them to the Rocky Hill community. I would also just like to take a quick moment to congratulate all of the Teachers of the Year that will be introduced following me this evening. It's a great honor to receive Teacher of the Year, and also welcome to all of our new staff from the other schools. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Next, representing Mosier School, Dr. Annabelle Diaz.
Hi, good evening, everyone. First, I would like to introduce Shanae Stewart as Mosier's Teacher of the Year. She is our amazing speech and language pathologist. Sinead is definitely someone that I admire. Her positive energy is contagious, and I'm extremely proud that she is part of our Mosier team. She is a team player and fosters positive relationships with both staff and students. She is Mosier's rock star. Congrats, Sinead. And for our new staff, unfortunately, he couldn't be here because he lives and breathes healthy lifestyles, and he is teaching a physical training course. So in December, we hired a dynamic and energetic PE and health teacher, Matt DePaulo, who has transitioned greatly into our learning community. We're really excited to have him on board, and he is another rock star. So help me welcome Matt. And just as Wendy mentioned, congratulations to all of the Teachers of the Year in this room, and also new staff. Welcome to Rocky Hill. Thank you.
Next, Mr. Maziarz, representing GMS.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you, Dr. Zito. Again, congratulations to all the Teachers of the Year. I worked with a few of them, and I'll say this is some of the best Rocky Hill has to offer for sure. And of course, welcome to all our new staff that's here tonight, having been in the district for 22 years. And if you go back to me being in kindergarten at West Hill School, I've been in the district for over 40 years. And you have reached the green grass, is what I always tell the new teachers in Rocky Hill. You'll probably be here for the next 35 years. So congratulations and welcome to Rocky Hill. It's a great place to work. A couple new teachers at Grizzle Middle School. We have a new tech ed teacher, Tanya Adorno. She was unable to be here. She has twin 10-month-olds. Need I say more? She couldn't make it. But she's absolutely terrific. We got a good one. We stole her from Sheephog Valley School, where she taught tech ed. She was a health teacher in the Wolcott school system. She has many degrees and certifications, including a 6th year. And she was a Division I soccer goalie at University of Maine. So we welcome Tanya to Rocky Hill. And I think she might be watching tonight. So welcome, Tanya. And Tyler Pasewicz is here. He's a 7th grade social studies teacher. And those of you that remember, I was a 7th grade social studies teacher, so he's automatically my buddy, just because. And he decorated his entire classroom in Yukon stuff, so I like him already. We stole him from the Hartford Public Schools. He taught psychology and civics. He worked at Silas Dean Middle School for a year, and he is a hockey coach at Wethersfield High School. And what Tyler made me realize is we are now hiring people that are young enough to be my own children. So I've reached that stage in my career. Thanks for making me feel old, Tyler. Welcome. And of course, our teacher of the year, Mrs. Lane. Come on up, Mrs. Lane. She loves this part. Yeah, you're coming up. That's how we're doing it. Congratulations. Mrs. Lane is, in so many ways, the backbone and heartbeat of Griswold Middle School. As our library media specialist, she has a unique ability to positively impact every member and every student in our building each year in one way or another. On a daily basis, she shares her incredibly vast knowledge base and extensive skill set. Her passion and excitement about books and the digital world is second to none. And with that high level of enthusiasm and dedication to fuel her, she has created a library media center which everyone is excited to visit. She has quite literally spent the last 8 years transforming this part of our middle school into an environment that is warm, welcoming, interesting, and fun. I visit every day, multiple times a day. Love it. Kim is not just a librarian in the traditional sense, but also an outstanding instructor. She uniquely combines her creativity and intellect to provide her students with enriching experiences each and every day. She has an incredible ability to listen to her coworkers, contribute productively to any group endeavor, and share her many talents in an unassuming way. I often seek Kim out for advice to problem solve or to assist in school-wide endeavors. I bother her on a daily basis. Simply put, Mrs. Lane makes our school a better place, and she does so in a manner that makes us smile. We are lucky to have her here. She is our Griswold Middle School Teacher of the Year. Thank you.
And our high school principal, Mr. Foti, is next. Jesus.
Good evening, everyone. Just another congratulations to our Teachers of the Year and our new hires. So last year at the high school, we assembled a great team, got a great lineup. We had 5 new additions to our high school. The first individual is Richard Conway. Richard, could you stand up? So Richard's a special hire. I used to be his basketball coach, and so I yelled at him tremendously when he was younger. Thank God he came back. It's his first year. He's a special education teacher, and he works tremendously with our special ed kids. Started a help desk in the math classroom, and he really works with every single kid. I'm very happy to have him. He's also our JV boys basketball coach, and appreciate all your efforts. Thank you, Richard. Another hire is Kylie Reed. She's not here tonight. She has a newborn she's taking care of. She's a former Rocky Hill High School graduate, a standout volleyball player and college player. She's adored by the staff, and she teaches English 9, and she's a great part of our team already. So we're glad to have Ms. Reed. Another newbie, Miss Emily Davis. She's a science teacher, and she loves science. Before this, she worked at Central Connecticut State University because of her passion for science. And she teaches 9th grade science and physics. Again, she teaches 9th grade. She's very brave, and we are very blessed to have her. Thank you. And the last 2 are from the same department. First is Angelica Ochoa Maya. She teaches Spanish. She has a dual role at the middle school in the morning and at the high school in the afternoon. So she has 3 classes, 7, 8, and 9 period. She lives in Massachusetts, so she's got quite a ride, but she loves Rocky Hill, and we're blessed to have her. Thank you. And the last individual is Miss Paula Cervantes. She's also a world language teacher who teaches many different levels. She's a welcome addition. We took her from Hartford Public, and thank you for all her efforts teaching so many classes. Thank you. So I'd like to bring up our Teacher of the Year, Miss Eileen Schneider. One of the best ladies I've been around in my short term at Rocky Hill High School. So first of all, she's the daughter of Mr. McVicker, soccer coach at Rocky Hill High School, correct?
Yeah.
All right. And so so Mr. McVicker had a legacy here. I mean, he created soccer. And so yesterday, I was going to share this with her, I got an email from a alumni and someone who played on the soccer team. And he sent me an email. He went up. I guess he's kind of putting together a reunion, and he saw the boys' soccer team, and he went up to them and said, "Hey, can I get a picture of you guys?" And then he kind of explained to them, and the kids were terrific, like our kids always are. Took a picture for his reunion, and then his email, he complimented her dad so much. And as I was reading it, the legend he is, I started to think about his legend that he left and the legend that this lady is leaving in our high school. And so the impact that she has and the passion that she has every single day, whether it's the littlest thing to the biggest thing, and what an advocate she is for our kids. She's an experienced educator, 22 years, and she knows what's best for our students. If you observe Eileen in the classroom, you'll see someone who's committed to teaching, feedback to students, and she loves to model and how to do things. She pushes things that she believes in, the Unified Arts Program, the whole event, the Environmental Club, or the National Honor Society, you name it, Eileen is part of it. She's just very passionate about what she does, and she loves Rock Hill. She bleeds blue and white. Just one real quick story. Last year, Mr. W won the Art Educator of the Year award. And so, And so when he won the award, he didn't even tell anybody, but Eileen told everyone. So she got the whole school on board. She did a whole big thing. She invited people to go attend the event. So just another way about who she is and how she's such a team player, and we're blessed to have her. And so, Eileen, thank you for all you do and being Teacher of the Year.
My mother was also a teacher.
That's right. Her mom was an art teacher, too.
And finally, Mr. Nozick from West Hill School. One new teacher, who I don't think she could be here tonight, and the District Teacher of the Year.
Yeah. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for having us. Again, congratulations to all the teachers of the year and for all the new hires. Rocky Hill truly is a great place to be. We did have one new hire, Jenna DeRoche. She is our PE and health teacher, a graduate of Southern Connecticut State University. She couldn't be here tonight because she's coaching our Rocky Hill High School girls volleyball. So, but at the risk of appearing as though I'm simply listing every possible attribute known to humankind: bright, engaging, knowledgeable, creative, caring, passionate, humble, I can honestly tell you that Paul is one of the finest educators I've had the privilege of working with in my 23 years as a building principal. To say that Paul strives to create a fun and engaging environment for students is a gross understatement. Upon entering his third grade classroom, students are transported to a euphoric learning environment. There are trees and plants, a teepee, and a crescent-shaped inflatable couch. Now, this is not just for decoration. The room is extremely functional and designed to meet the needs of different kinds of learners. In addition to the couch and the traditional desks and chair setup, students can choose from one of the balance ball chairs, the floor rocker, Or my personal favorite, there's a round table whose legs have been cut in half so that students can sit on the floor using only a seat cushion. It does remind me of a traditional Japanese restaurant. It is no wonder why the students cannot wait to get to school every day. Paul's efforts affect the entire climate at West Hill School. He's involved in curriculum writing. He's a major contributor to team meetings. He runs before-school programs for students and attends special programs in the evening, such as a celebration of the arts and PTO Spirit Night. The students are always excited to see their teacher at these events, and especially when he brings Mrs. Zacco and baby Sage with him. Last year, Paul agreed to open his classroom to a student teacher from the Connecticut Teacher Residency Program, a program focused on diversifying the teaching staff in our state. This intensive year-long internship required a significant contribution from Mr. Zacco. As always, Paul enthusiastically accepted the challenge, affording this new educator the same kind of commitment, patience, and devotion that he provides to his students. Every school has a teacher that all the students hope to have someday. Children are smart. They know which teachers make learning fun and really care about them. Parents know this too, and often reach out to request their child have this extraordinary teacher. At West Hill School, that teacher is Mr. Zacco. I have nothing but the utmost respect and admiration for Paul as a person and educator. He strives to be his best every day because he knows it will make a difference in the lives of his students. Mr. Zacco exemplifies the kind of teacher that best represents our profession and our wonderful Rocky Hill community. Congratulations, Paul.
That's all from the principals, Mr. Slattery. Again, we're really excited to have new staff here tonight, and each of the teachers of the year really does a great job representing their school and their community, so thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Zito. And on behalf of the board, I just want to welcome all of the new teachers, as well as to thank the teachers that were recognized tonight as teachers of the for the school of the year and district teacher of the year. It really is it's the teachers in our district that really make the district what it is. So just want you to know that we all up here appreciate the work that you guys put in and day out. Dealing with the students directly. So thank you very much to all of you. Before we move on to number 3, I intended to open by, I want to welcome we do have a new member of the board, Brian Clemens. I intended to open with that, but got sidetracked with moving the stuff around. So I just want to welcome Mr. Clemens to the board. He was appointed at a special meeting and is now on the board. So if everyone will join me in welcoming Mr. Clemens. All right, with that, we will move on to audience participation. And first up is meeting open to the public. Anyone here on behalf of the public wishing to be heard? Mr. Kosker, I see you smiling. Nothing? All right. Anybody open to the public? Anybody? All right, seeing none, we'll move on to reports of student representatives. Tonight, I believe we have Rocky Hill High School and Griswold Middle School. We will start with representatives from Rocky Hill High School.
Hello everyone, my name is Haley Emanuel and I'm a sophomore here at Rocky Hill High School. As well as being involved with multiple clubs and activities at our school, I stay engaged with the town and school community. I have finished and surpassed all of my community service requirements. As you can tell, I'm one of the Board of Ed representatives at the high school. Along with the other members of the Student Council Board, we plan to help continue to grow our school and expand it.
Hello, my name is Caitlin Bouchard, and I'm also a sophomore at Rocky Hill High School this year, and one of the Board of Ed representatives for Student Council. I also partake in many school athletics and clubs to be more involved with the school and community. This means community service, which as a sophomore I have completed more than the required hours, and many of the Student Council members received hours at a recent freshman orientation this past month. The class of 2027 was able to receive a tour around the school in groups with the help of Student Council members who are their guides. This gave the incoming freshmen a first glance at our school, so the first day would not be as frightening for them when finding classes. Along with the tour, the freshmen also received a presentation from Mr. Fody and Mr. Malizia, where they talked about some of our school rules and expectations as a new terrier. Overall, freshman orientation was a success and a great experience for the new students joining the high school. As for these first weeks of school, the adjustment period for both freshmen and returning students has been more than rewarding. Freshmen were taken in and shown the ways of school by upperclassmen, and the school environment went from first day jitters to students eagerly waiting for the doors to open and for the activities to start. The Royal Blue Marching Band and Color Guard have been working very hard for their upcoming performances, along with drama starting to prepare for their performance later in spring. As for athletics, the fall sports season is in full bloom. All 7 of the fall teams have already made many successes, and the teams at the high school this season have put in hard work of hours and dedication, and this is a good representative of hard work that the students of Rocky Hill put in, not just for sports, but for their academics as well.
On Thursday, September 14th, we hosted an open house for the parents of the Rocky Hill High School students. Parents followed their children's schedules and stayed in the classes for 8 minutes while the teachers gave course descriptions and answered any questions or concerns guardians had. Student council members were able to help volunteer and guide parents around the school to their child's classes. This Friday, September 22nd, we have class officer elections. Students in each grade are able to either run for president, vice president, secretary, or treasurer for their class. The rest of their peers are able to vote on who they think will be the best fit for said position. Candidates already have submitted their applications and a short speech on why they deserve each position. Now, looking ahead, PSATs are coming up soon, along with multiple other events. October will be a busy but exciting month for the Rocky Hill High School. Thank you for all your time and attention, and we cannot wait to see you next month with more positive information about our school.
Thank you. And next up will be student representatives from Griswold Middle School. If you
Good evening. I am Penny Sarfel.
And I'm Anna Schretzel.
We are 8th grade student council members from GMS, and we're here to report the beginning of our school year.
The school year started smoothly on August 31st with the building looking great and lots of happy, enthusiastic faces in the halls. This summer, the roof was replaced and the 7th grade science rooms were renovated. There are also many new staff members. Mrs. Matias came to us from Stevens School to teach art. Ms. Adorno is our new technology education teacher. Mr. Pasewicz is teaching 7th grade social studies on the green team, and Ms. Parsons is also on the green team teaching science.
School clubs and sports are up and running. The drama club recently held its first meeting in preparation for production of Rock of Ages. The newspaper club and student council are also holding their first meetings and planning for the year's activities in sports. Mr. McKinnon is coaching the boys and girls cross-country teams and hopes of his runners can repeat in their sweep of the middle school championships last season. Mr. Petray is coaching boys soccer and Mrs. Viola is coaching the girls.
With the new school year came the need to practice our safety drills. There has been a practice fire drill, a practice lockdown, and today we held our rally point evacuation drill with the entire school successfully meeting at Sunnycrest Park.
And finally, for fashion-forward listeners, a new line of Grizzly gear is being introduced soon. Check out the GMS website for details and place your orders.
Thank you and a happy school year to all.
I want to thank our student representatives. It's always nice to hear, what's going on a day-to-day basis, especially with the start of school. So thank you very much for coming out. With that, I believe we're going to take a short recess if everybody's on board, so that people can take pictures with the teachers and all that fun stuff. So
people can go home and study.
And people can sneak out if they want. I know you guys don't want to be here all night. With that, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion for a 5-minute recess.
I have
Second.
a motion by Ms. Tucker, seconded by Ms. Manella. Motion, 5-minute recess. Oh, wait, do we have to vote on that?
All in favor?
All in favor?
Yes.
Aye. Good. That was good.
Good job, Steve.
Everybody good? Everybody good? Call this meeting back to order. Believe we were at, we just finished 3, so we're at number 4 on the agenda. Item number 4 is approval of the minutes. We have minutes from the Board of Education special meeting on August 22nd, minutes from the August 24th regular Board of Education meeting, and minutes from the September 7th, 2023 Board of Education special meeting. Does anybody have any additions, deletions, or corrections to the minutes? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion for approval of the minutes.
Motion by Ms. Tucker. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Manella. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Approval of the minutes is approved, 9-0. Next on the agenda is item number 5, correspondence. Dr. Zito.
No correspondence.
Thank you, Dr. Zito. We already did number 6, which was the consent calendars. We'll move on to committee reports. Up first is curriculum. Ms. Tucker.
Curriculum has not met, but just a quick note that I've attended 3 of the 5 open houses, and they've all gone very well.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Very good to hear. Next is facilities. Mr. Gavin.
The Facilities Committee has not met yet. We are looking to schedule a meeting for either October 4th or October 5th to follow up on a grant available for the HVAC system in Stevens School.
Excellent. And Mr. Zito, do you want to put a little more?
Yeah,
information?
so we have received recent notification, actually, and I want to thank, she's not here tonight, but Representative Kerry Wood has been reminding us of the HVAC grant that the legislature just approved. The application process closes on December 31st. So I did reach out today to Mr. Slattery and to Mr. Gavin to schedule a facilities meeting during the week of October 2nd. We'd do that, then I would recommend a special meeting the following week to get the board to approve us to apply. And on the town side, we'll work with the town manager and the folks, the council's gonna have to adopt a resolution, but we don't wanna leave the money sitting on the table because there's an opportunity, potentially for several $100,000 to come back to the town. And I think Representative Wood would be happy to do what you can to help us out.
Excellent. Next up is, so any questions for Mr. Gavin or Mr. Zito? Next up is finance, which is Ms. Tucker.
Finance Committee has not met.
Thank you, Ms. Tucker. Next is P&N, which I believe is...
Oh, that's me.
Sure, that's Mr. Gavin, yes.
We've started the negotiations process with the teachers' union. Our last meeting was on September 13th. We had a very good meeting. Our next meeting is coming up this Monday on September 25th.
Thank you, Mr. Gavin. Next up is policy, which is Mr. Clemens. Mr. Clemens just came to the board.
Policy has not met yet.
Thank you, Mr. Clemens. Next up, number 12 is special education. Newly appointed chair is Ms. Tucker.
Special education has not yet met.
Thank you, Ms. Tucker. Craig, next up is Craig, Mr. Desai.
Yeah, it's a very short one. After 2 months of summer break, CREC meeting was held on 9/20th, which was yesterday. CREC has adopted a new curriculum using the science of reading, new materials for reading, and expeditionary learning. There are 2 major projects at Head Start locations. One is north end of Hartford and Windsor. School will be ready to open in the fall. CREC is training 168 managers and are focused on hiring more staff for the beginning of this year. For the legislative update, CREC received $1.5 million annually for the teacher residency program, HB 5003. CREC also received the education reform for $150 million and out of which 40 million is specifically for RESC management magnets. That's all for me to report.
Thank you, Mr. Desai. Does anyone have any questions for Mr. Desai? Moving on, number 14, school safety. That newly appointed chairperson is Mr. Gavin, I believe.
School safety is not met. We will attempt to schedule a time to meet in October to review any opportunities, see how the start of the school year is going, and get an update on the SRO program. I believe they're in the process of hiring a full-time third individual, and I'd like to know.
That's correct.
How
Excellent.
that's coming along.
Any questions for Mr. Gavin with respect to school safety? And last of the committee reports is technology. Again, Mr. Gavin.
Technology met 2 months ago. We did not meet this last month, and we will, again, try to schedule something probably for November, just to kind of get an update on what we discussed last time, find opportunities, and look for improvements on the technology side.
Thank you, Mr. Gavin. Any questions for Mr. Gavin regarding technology? Seeing none, we'll move on. Nothing in old business. Move on to number 16, Assistant Superintendent for Personnel and Student Services report, Ms. Stevenson. I'm excited about this.
Well, I don't, that's a lot of pressure, so there's a lot of pressure.
Pressure intended.
Slides. Slides. All right, so good evening, everybody. It's nice to see you all. I had let you know at the last board meeting that we were going to be presenting on September 12th to the Council for Developmental Disabilities, which we've received a $50,000 grant, and we are using those funds to get the project started. And we did apply for another $50,000, so I'm still waiting to hear about that. All right, thanks, Mr. Kosker. So we did do our presentation, and it went really well. And there were a lot of people watching the presentation, and it was virtually done. And I saw people doing screenshots of our slides and everything, so it was really exciting. So first slide. This is our logo right here. So Dream Cafe, Coffee with a Mission. So our restaurateur, Miss Emmons, designed this, and we think it's great. So I just have to figure out, how am I moving to the next slide here? Do I have a keyboard? What's going on?
I think this is it.
Oh, thank you. All right. So, the mission of the Dream Cafe, to provide a vocational training experience in the area of culinary arts for students with developmental disabilities. The purpose of this project is to provide an inclusive community experience for students with developmental disabilities, while at the same time offering opportunities for them to gain important vocational skills. The experience will allow students to learn important on-the-job training skills, such as interpersonal skills, how to use a point-of-service system. That's like what a cash register. We used to use a cash register. Now you see when you go to places, they have iPads and everything is programmed. So the kids are going to learn like how to program everything. And when you order, how they're, I'd like no onions on that. And they do it all by computer now. So the kids are going to learn that. How to clock in and out, how to take direction from a supervisor, the main functions of running a business, and how to interact with customers, as well as other culinary art skills. It's important, I want to impart to the board, and I did explain this to the council, that our students have a wonderful program right now, and they go out into the community, and that's great. But we're very limited to what they can do in the businesses. They're very limited. They're only there for a few hours, and the businesses tell us what the kids can do. We are not really able to decide, but this opportunity is going to give us a lot more control and really let the kids learn all of the skills. So that's one of the really great benefits about this program. The Vocational Training Center will employ a restaurateur consultant who will oversee operations of the cafe, which we have no choice. We got it from the health marshal or whatever it's called. Health department. They said we have to have someone who is certified. Students will be assisted by job coaches at all times in the training center, and baked goods and light fare will be cooked on site and sold to the public. And there's a lot of regulations about how the food has to be stored, prepped, cooked, all of that. I'm learning about all of that. Right, Ron? Yes. So is Ron. All right, you saw this already, but I did show everybody at the council that we are modeling this after Beans and Company. I just want to put a little plug in for Beans. They did just move to a new location. If you're a social media person, follow them on social media. It looks amazing. I can't wait to get out there, support them, go out, have lunch, have breakfast, have coffee. Okay, so this is our location. The address is 154 New Britain Avenue. We're at the lower level, and we let the council, we help them understand that the students, like where their program is, this location is right next door to it. So they're not going to have to travel. It's going to be right there, so which is great. 3,000 square feet is the total space. 20 feet from students attending the Dream Academy. So this is the 3,000 square feet is separate from the Dream Academy. That's not part of the Dream Academy. So it's an additional 3,000 square feet. And it's an active plaza with many nearby businesses. So out of the 3,000 square feet, 1,500 square feet are in the front of the house and 800 square feet food prep and cooking. And this is just, we just showed them we only had 10 minutes, so we couldn't go too deep into every slide, so we had to kind of skip over these slides. I know this doesn't look very pretty, but it will soon, I promise. So we are working with the health department to get permitting and the plan review complete. The construction has started and is ongoing, and we are expecting that it will be completed by September 30th, 2023. That's when the construction will be complete. There's still a lot to do before we open. We're going to have to have the equipment delivered. We're going to have to do all the decor. We're going to have to work with the kids, which we've been doing, and I'll show you a slide on that, on getting them prepared with the skills that they're going to need. There's a lot we still have to do, but it will be exciting to have the space be completed. We are collaborating with town officials, so there's collaboration between facilities, the property owner, contractors, building department. It's ongoing and favorable. We're working with the fire marshal and the health department to ensure all local requirements and codes are met. The health department has approved the plans and issued a Class 3 food license. It's very exciting. The planning and zoning department is in full support of the program and location. The community is really excited about this. When we talk to the fire marshal, when we talk to the health department, they're so excited. So it's been really great. P&Z has approved our bakery license application, which is awaiting approval from the Department of Consumer Protection. And P&Z will also help with the sign permit process. Town Hall will receive the trade name certification and file Dream Cafe officially in the coming week. So we've been doing all of that behind the scenes. This is just an idea about the menu. You can see it's created with students in mind, recipes that are easy to follow and execute, laminated recipe cards made for each student, photographs of each step for extra support, promotes independent work with repetitive tasks, and menu items that are easy to communicate. So this is just kind of a basic idea of what we're going to be doing. I'm excited. Everything looks delicious. All right, so this is just kind of an idea of what we're thinking about for colors and things like that. We've been working, picking out paint and, all kinds of things. So we want to have an inviting space for students and guests, room for several workstations in the kitchen, training areas for job tasks throughout, Wi-Fi available to encourage working guests, and space for private events and catering, because eventually we want this to be big. So this is just some ideas of space. And then this is very exciting. So as I said, people are really excited about this idea. We've secured discounts and donations through working partnerships with local businesses. We worked closely with Restaurant Equipment Paradise to find discounted and pre-owned items to adhere with our budget. So we've been working hard to get all of the equipment, and we were able to, get some really good pricing. And then we had a very extremely generous donation from a company called General Seating Solutions in East Hartford, and we'll receive 18-foot custom-made banquet. I don't even really, I guess it's like a big booth kind of a thing, right, Ron? 15 custom tabletops, and all table bases and feet, and that's a donation valued over $6,000. So I wanted to acknowledge this company, and it's very General Seating Solutions in East Hartford, so thank you, because that is very generous. inclusivity and community outreach. So this is really exciting. We want to involve our high school students. I was able to meet with a high school teacher, Gabby Brzezowski, last week, and we started the conversation about how we're going to include the high school kids in the social media, in the website, in logos for t-shirts, and maybe painting a mural. So we're really starting to really talk about how we're going to have this really be a community experience. Volunteer hours for students working at the cafe, collaboration with the art department for student displays, creating social media presence and web design. Our students are so talented. They can do all of these things. So this is really going to be a community effort. Design of signage and menus with graphic arts for students. And then in the future, community outreach ideas to include events with local assisted living facilities, animal rescues, community paint nights, catering for school events. So this eventually we're hoping is going to be really just a community outreach project. And these are just a couple pictures of the kids. So they've been, our restaurateur has been coming in and just kind of working with the kids to kind of assess where they are with the skills and what they can do and how they can follow directions and their level of independence and things like that. So the kids are loving it. They're super excited, and overall it's just been really great. So that is my presentation, and I'll be happy to answer any questions if anybody has any questions.
I just have.
That's more for you.
In regards to the consultant, I was under the impression it was a temporary thing. So now that it's the Department of Health is making it a requirement, have we budgeted out for it? Is this going to throw us off budgeting wise, or?
I don't think it was ever meant to be temporary. We knew, there's no, we can do a lot of things, but running a restaurant, you have to have somebody that knows what they're doing.
Okay.
So it's being paid through the grant?
Right now, it's being paid through the grant, so we probably will have to discuss that at budget time. Right now, we've just been paying it through the grant.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. And then, I was going to say something. I can't remember what I was going to say. Oh, I did want to mention, apparently Trumbull Public Schools has a program a little similar to this, so our restaurateur is going down to see that program. They do it with books, so I think they sell books, so they have a business. So we were talking about some great ideas because the people that live across the street from me, they put out this little house a couple weeks ago, and I thought it was like a birdhouse. I'm like, oh, it's so cute. And my daughter came home with the baby, and she was like, oh, it's a Lendo library. And I was like, it's a what? And so we went, and I was like, what a great idea. So we could even look at something like that. And I don't know if you guys know that restaurant. There's a restaurant called Food and Books, and it's in the Sturbridge area, if you've ever heard of it. And if you go and you eat and you pay for a meal, every person that pays for a meal, you can pick out 3 free books. They have books lining all the walls. It's a great idea. So we're starting to think okay, we could incorporate reading and books and things like that into this as well. So Trumbull is doing that, so we're going to see what they're doing and bring back some ideas.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, Ms. Stevenson. On behalf of the board, I just want to say thank you, Ms. Stevenson, for all the work you're putting into this. I know we were all very excited about it, but listening to you talk about it, I can hear the excitement. I'm sure you guys can hear the excitement and the passion.
It's awesome.
And it's awesome. So
It's
thank
great. Yes, and of course Ron too, because Ron's been putting a lot of work in there too. So
And also second shout out to General Seating Solutions in East Hartford on behalf of the district. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
He was very excited about the purpose, and we're finding that as we talk to people. When we went to Beans, the owner, she's so busy, and she sat with us for 2 hours and was just so excited. So this is it's a really great thing, so thank you for the support, because it's really going to be amazing for everybody, not just the kids, it's for everybody. So it's been really great. Any other questions? And then I just have one more quick thing to report.
Ms. Rolfe?
So I have a couple of questions. First off, they're going to have to be signing out front, I would think?
Yeah, we're talking about all of that, Ron. I don't know. So we're going to need a sign, on the road, so when people are driving, they see it. And then we're going to need signs on the doors. And so we're definitely going to need signing.
Is there, and I've been over there once, is there access from the front of the building, to get down?
There is, but
around?
I don't think that's the way people will go, right? They'll walk around. There is access. You can get down there that way.
I know there's not much parking in the back.
There is a way to go that way, because remember the time we were freezing and we went in that way? Remember that?
Yeah, I have to drive over there another time, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, there
There's
is a side
parking in the
lot.
back.
There is parking in the back.
is like, there's not much, and it's really narrow.
Yes, and that's why we do need a sign by the road, because I could see how people would be like, where is it?
Yeah.
Right, so we will definitely, so signage, we are talking about that, and it is important.
Thank you for the presentation. That looks
Yeah.
fantastic.
It's been
Can't
great.
wait to go there.
Yeah, it's going to be really exciting.
Thank you again, Ms. Stevenson.
All right, and I just have
With one more thing.
one more thing, very exciting thing to report. So the dog therapy program is going really well. I was able to get out to the high school and meet Joy, our dog, and she's super sweet and adorable. So she came out, I can't remember the date off the top of my head, but it was the first Friday of the full week of school, or the second Friday, I can't remember. And there were no kids yet. We didn't have any permission slips signed yet. So it was just kind of, I went out to meet her, and Steph Malkin was there, and a couple people from the high school, and just brought her in, and so sweet. And then we started with the students last Friday, and it was a hit. It was great. It went really smoothly. Everybody loved it. There were tears. Adults were crying, and just watching the kids. It was very sweet. And we're already in talks with the handler and the program to have another slot. So that's already in the works. That's already happening. And we have other staff from the other schools coming up to see what we're doing at the high school, so that we can also bring the program into the other schools. And we've already been in talks about that. So I just wanted to let you know that it's gone really, really well. And the kids and the adults love it. And I wanted to give a shout out to Steph Malkin and Lori Cavanda, because they're really the ones that are kind of managing all of this at the high school level. And it's been amazing. So, and thank you for, of course, as always, your support.
Thank you, Ms. Stevenson. Any questions about the dog program?
I have a question too.
Sure, Ms. Rolfe.
So how did it work? Did the dog just go
The
to
dog
whoever
is
they want?
super chill
Okay.
and just kind of hangs out, and people just kind of come around and they pet him. So you can have a group of kids around the dog, and they're just petting the dog and just kind of hanging out 10, 15 minutes, and then they go, and then another group comes, and yeah, so it was good. Yeah, the dog is very, very sweet and chill. It was great. So I'm going to go tomorrow at 11. I'm going to go and see her. So yeah, have it on my calendar.
Any other questions?
I would. Approximately how many students are in this program?
So we sent out permission slips, and I know that 40 kids can see the dog in an hour. So because we're going now to another slot, I have to assume that we're well over 40 kids.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. But I don't have those exact numbers. In the next coming weeks, as we get more into this, I will provide you guys with some information, and I will also hope to get some information regarding any data of maybe students that weren't coming to school that are maybe now coming to school because of this. So, but we just need a little time to collect that data.
Thank you.
All right, those
Any
data.
other questions? I have a question. When are they bringing Joy for us to meet her?
We'll have to work that out. We'll have to figure that out.
Might have to hold the expansion hostage until we get to meet Joy.
Yeah, she's so
No, I'm
sweet.
just kidding, but I
She's
think everybody
really
here
sweet.
would love to meet her.
Yeah, very sweet.
Any other questions?
I have a question.
Sure, Ms. Manella?
Are the times rotated every Friday, or is it the same time?
It's the same time, but that's another reason why we wanted to do another slot, so that we can get a different time, so that we can rotate it for kids if they're like, I can't miss chemistry, I want to do this, but I can't. So that's why we are getting another time. And I imagine it might even be another one. So I imagine this is going to grow. So we just wanted to start with that, and then it will grow. And I did confirm with Ms. Malkin that the program that we're using right now, Faithful Friends is the name of the agency, if they can, because this is a free program, we are not paying anything for this. So if for whatever reason they say, listen, we just don't have any more slots available, there are other agencies that we can work with that have the handler, they have all the paperwork, the liability forms, the vaccines, everything. So there are other agencies that we can partner with. So
Great, thank you.
Excellent. Any other questions? Thank you very much,
all
Ms.
right,
Stevenson.
thanks everybody.
All right, moving on the agenda, number 18, we have Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum and Instructions Report, Ms. Leestro.
All right. Thank you so much.
Dr. Leistro, I apologize.
It's okay. So the school year is off to a very smooth start. And as Ms. Tucker said, open houses are underway. The schools look amazing. The teachers it was seamless with jumping right back into instruction after a pretty long summer. So just wanted to share that. And the other piece of news is we already have received the state assessment results from the spring. So families should have their child's Smarter Balance and NGSS test results mailed to them. The schools are ready to mail that tomorrow. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Leistro. Dr. Leistro. Any questions for Dr. Leistro? Seeing none, we'll move on. Superintendent's report, Dr. Zito.
Couple quick updates. Thank you, Mr. Slattery. Sir. As you've heard from everybody, including our students, the opening weeks of school have gone well. I know our central office leadership team, including myself, has had a lot of opportunities to be out in the schools. And students are engaged in their learning. Teachers are busy. There's a nice vibe, a nice climate when you walk into each school. In fact, I was at the high school yesterday, and they thanked me for the dog therapy program, and I said, not me, but you can thank Ms. Stevenson and her leadership on this. But very good feedback on the dog therapy program, and they do want to expand the opportunities for the kids. The Facilities Committee, we will work, I'll get an email out to committee members tomorrow to try to pin down either the 4th or 5th of October so we can apply for the HVAC grant. That would be a Phase 2 project at Stevens School. And then again, we'll set up a Transportation Committee meeting. I think it's a great idea, Ms. Moore, for you to have the company come in and talk about where we are with transportation and the Remind app for the bus stops and so forth. So we'll get that set up before the next board meeting. And then again, thanks for letting us bring all the new staff in tonight. I know they are excited to come and see who those board members are that they work for. And again, our Teachers of the Year do a great job. So really, really nice to recognize the professionals who work with the kids on a daily basis to promote high-quality learning experiences for the kids. So we're pleased with that. My last note, I think Sean mentioned it earlier, the negotiations team, Mr. Slattery, Ms. Manella, Ms. Tucker, Mr. Gavin, Monday night, 5 o'clock at GMS. That's my report.
Thank you, Dr. Zito. Any questions for Dr. Zito? All right, move along to Chairman's report, which is me. I want to start off by first echoing some of Dr. Zito's remarks about the teachers who came out today. Thank you for coming out, as well as thank you to the administrators for introducing them and telling us a little bit about them. You know, I really feel that the administration and the teachers are what make this district what it is, and thankful to all of them, both the administrators and the teachers, because I think they make us look good. They clearly love our kids, and it shows. So I'll say thank you to that. Turning to my report, I'll apologize to the board because some of this will be repetitive from my last report, but since tonight we have our vast audience online, I figured I would go through my report again. So I'd like to begin my remarks tonight by expressing my gratitude to my fellow members for selecting me as your chair. I can promise you that I will work diligently and thoughtfully to ensure that we let the best interests of our students and their families continue to guide our decision-making as a Board of Education. This board has accomplished a great deal, and I'm confident that we will continue to push forward in the effort to make Rocky Hill Public Schools and the quality of the education we provide to our students as strong as possible. To that end, I would like to highlight a few key areas where we have made significant progress in recent years. First off is pandemic recovery and student achievement. As we now know, the coronavirus pandemic had a very detrimental effect on students' learning across the country. In stark contrast with state and local officials throughout America who kept their students out of school, the Rocky Hill Board of Education, with full support from the Rocky Hill Town Council, voted to keep our schools open for in-person learning, providing all families at least with the option for 180 school days during school year 2020-2021. That was the first full school year during the pandemic. Connecticut State Department of Education recently released a pandemic recovery report to track learning loss by district as a result of the pandemic. The report demonstrated that Rocky Hill students outperformed all other school systems assigned to our district reference group, or as we commonly refer to it, DIRG, which we're in DIRG D. In addition, Rocky Hill also outperformed all but 2 DIRG B districts. So we're in DIRG D, and we outperformed all but 2 in DIRG B. In retrospect, these results underscore the wisdom of Rocky Hill's elected officials, who, despite intense pressure and criticism from some quarters, maintained an unwavering stance in support of in-person learning, with the understanding that putting children first was the right decision. I personally was not on the board at that time, but I want to thank the board members who were on the board at that time, if they're present, and as well as those board members who are not present. I can't stress enough. I know, in my family, I feel like it absolutely was the right decision. I think the test scores have shown that it was the right decision for the district. I know it was a tough decision, and I thank you. In addition to the pandemic achievement or less loss of achievement than other districts, we have in Rocky Hill School District continued to experience levels of high achievement. The initial review of the spring 2023 standardized assessments indicate that Rocky Hill placed second in District Reference Group D on the SBAC, which is grade 3 through 8 in both English language English language arts and mathematics. High school SAT results, which is grade 11, Rocky Hill placed second in the DIRG for both evidence-based reading and writing, which is verbal, and first in mathematics. The NGSS Science, grades 5, 8, and 11, Rocky Hill placed third in the DIRG, in the district reference group. Additionally, some other achievements for our district. We last year voted to recognize Diwali. So the board's 2023-2024 school calendar now includes a scheduled holiday on Friday, November 10th, in observance of Diwali, a very significant holiday for many of our Rocky Hill families. Clearly, the board embraces the diversity of both our school population and the community as a whole. To that end, the addition of Diwali to the school calendar serves as a sign of respect for the importance of the holiday and as tangible recognition of the significant contributions made by our residents of Indian heritage to the overall prosperity of the Rocky Hill community. With respect to facilities, this board has made tremendous efforts to improve the physical infrastructure of our schools, of our school buildings during the past several years. In addition to full renovation of Rocky Hill High School in 2017 and the construction of Mosier School in 2019, the board has overseen the following major projects in recent years. A full HVAC installation at GMS in 2017, a Stevens School roofing project in 2020, a new softball field at Rocky Hill High School in 2019, a complete HVAC replacement at West Hill School in 2021, GMS roofing project in 2023, new science labs for grades 7 and 8 at GMS, with construction for grade 6 labs scheduled for next summer, 2024. Phase 1, most recently, Phase 1 of the HVAC project at Stevens School. That's just a list of some of the more recent facilities improvements that we've made as a board. I wasn't around for all of those, but my children are enjoying the fruits of those decisions that were made by former boards, and I thank those members of the board. Another achievement, school resource officer program. With respect to our school resource officer program, the board is grateful that the town council has supported the addition of a third school resource officer for school year 2023-2024. We value the relationship that the school district has with our local police department. Our top priority is the safety and well-being of our students and staff, and we know that the third full-time officer dedicated to the schools will enhance our overall safety plan and approach to school security. The last of our most recent achievements, as Ms. Stevenson was discussing tonight, is the Dream Academy. Last year, the Board of Education approved the expansion of the Dream Academy, authorizing the administration to enter into a lease for additional space. I won't go too deeply into that, as Ms. Stevenson just discussed it, but the entire board and I believe the entire community is very excited about this project. And And I love getting, I know I'm sure the whole board loves getting the updates, so I can't wait to see it come to fruition. So in closing, I just want to reiterate that I appreciate the support from my fellow board members, demonstrated confidence in my leadership skills through your selection of me to serve as your chair. I look forward to continuing to work together in a collegial and collaborative environment, one where we consistently place our students and families at the forefront of our actions as a board. And I can make that commitment. I know I'm new as a chair, that I think that is what makes our district so special, and why it is a place that everybody wants to work, and why I think our kids are lucky to be here. So I think we need to make sure we continue. I know there's some big shoes to fill, but I intend to continue that tradition moving forward. So thank you very much. And with that, I will entertain a motion.
Motion to adjourn?
I have a motion to adjourn from Ms. Tucker, seconded by Ms. Morfea. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.